All right. Hello, guys. I am Bhavya Shah. I am from Mumbai. I am 18 and I will be studying at Stanford University. Not sure when our term begins because of the COVID 19 situation. So I did till my ninth and 10th grade in a CBSE school and then switched to the state board for 11th and 12th because I wanted to balance that with my IIT JEE preparation. So I pursued the science stream, physics, chemistry, mathematics, with the bifocal subject of computer science in the 11th and 12th grades. So that's pretty much me and where I come from in terms of educational background. I was told that it would be useful to give a quick summary of the US admissions process before we jump into the Q&A session. Of course, there was an expectation that you would have watched the interview that I had with Sonal ma'am, in which we went into much greater depth about the holistic US admissions process. Just a couple of quick points about that. So you need to give a lot of standardized tests such as the SAT subject tests, the TOEFL, among a few others, for which you need to prepare, request for accommodations, and then of course give those and score reasonably well on them. You also have a lot of essays on which to write, which range from really creative prompts to more straightforward questions to long form essays. That varies from college to college. You also need to list extracurricular activities you were involved in across your high school. You can also mention up to 5 honors, awards, or certificates that you want the admissions officer to know, which are most impressive across your school career. You get to submit letters of recommendation compulsorily from either your English or social science teacher and either your math or science teachers. And you also get the option of uploading additional letters of recommendation. So all in all, in contrast to the Indian education system and the Indian undergraduate admissions process, wherein you get into your college based on marks you score in one particular exam on one day, the US considers the broad spectrum of things that you've done and your quality of performance within the classroom and without across your 4 years of high school from grade 9 to grade 12. So that's why they call it holistic. It takes more effort, but also make sure that you can represent the fullness of yourself as a student, as a person on that application. So that's pretty much it. Just to also give a useful piece of context, I am completely blind. I had retinal detachment starting the age of 5, gradually lost my eyesight, and became totally blind by the age of 11, 12-ish. So that's been my journey for the past several years. Thank you. Back to you, Mumita ma'am.
So anyone have any question or anything want to discuss? Yeah, Suraj.
Hello,
Hello, yes.
this is Rahul from Maharashtra, Sholapur.
Okay, I am Kamal Kumar from Nagpur, Maharashtra.
So, uh, I want to ask some things to Bhavya.
Sure,
Hello.
Yeah,
go
please.
ahead.
Can you all hear me, please? Because my internet connectivity is little poor.
Yeah,
So
Kamal, we can hear you. So you also keep yourself in mute mode and hear us. Yeah, Rahul, please go ahead.
Yeah. Uh, as uh, um, I want to say about admissions in USA. As I want to say that all students are like not learned from CBSC background, and because uh, their parents are not educated, so we are learned in like village schools or even in the district schools, but these are government schools and their quality of education is like not good. So uh, due to lack of awareness, we were not able to do that much more extracurricular activities, or as uh, I wanted to take SAT, but my college didn't support me, as we need to obtain a school code from college board, and for our eligibility for scribes and stuff like that. So this is a big process, and college like don't support, or there are some any other issues, financial problems. So are there any universities in the USA uh, which requires only IELTS or TOEFL, or only English requirements test, and they can select?
So there were a few strands to your question. Thanks for your questions, Rahul.
Yeah.
First of all, most universities do officially say that they take into account the circumstances in which a student was whilst assessing them. What this means is that if you were born and raised in a village and studied in a rural school, those factors were beyond your control. So that is something a university will not penalize you for. There was a huge stereotype that only international board students, IB, GCSE, etc., get
Yeah.
into the top universities in the USA. But I think my own example, due to the fact that I studied in the HSC in 11th and 12th, is just one of many instances that goes to show that that isn't such a huge factor in the admissions process. Having said that, I don't think it's an excuse to not have really stellar extracurricular commitments and activities to show on your resume, because those are things that you can get access to even if your school doesn't provide them directly. Let me share a few personal anecdotes in that respect. So I think debating was one of my main highlights on my college application, because I had achievements on the national and international level. Now, my school did not have a debate club nor any past debating culture. The way I found about competitive debating was just because I had done a few elocution competitions and model event conferences. I Googled about on the internet. I found that India had a national school level debate team. I tried out for it, failed the first year in my 10th grade, made it to the team in the 11th grade, and then we went on to win the World Championships in 2019. So a lot of opportunities are out there if only you go around looking for them. It's of course true that if you study in, let's say, Dhirubhai Ambani International School in Mumbai, those opportunities come knocking at your classroom's doorstep itself. But in case they don't, for all of us students who don't study in international schools, we must actively seek them out, and we can find them. That has been true in my experience. I'm sure it will be for you as well. On your point about not having schools or college support whilst applying for SAT accommodations, I guess the process does become a little bit more challenging. But in my case as well, I did not have any support from my educational institution. So I applied for all of my SAT accommodations independently. There was just one teacher eligibility survey documentation that I remember, for which I had to reach out to a teacher. Apart from that, I filled all the forms, submitted all the documentation, kept coordinating with them about the status, and eventually received them. So I think in large part, most of these processes can be completed independently with extensive internet research. So I think the general answer to most of your questions is that don't feel bogged down or left behind because the situations in your immediate surroundings aren't very promising or inspiring. There is so much information on the internet which you have equal access to, that really all of those barriers, hurdles, lack of opportunity can be offsetted if only you look and try hard enough. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Uh, um, Thanks, Bhavya. Next, Kamal Kumar wants to ask something. Yes, Kamal, please go ahead. Kamal, please go ahead. Some questions. Chirag, please go ahead.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Hello, Bhavya.
हाय चिराग।
भव्या, मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, जैसे मान लो आपने एसएटी और टोफल एग्जाम दिया, तो एसएटी में बेसिकली सिलेबस क्या कुछ रहता है हमारा एग्जाम का?
ठीक है, उसके पहले मुझे बस एक और प्रश्न ध्यान आया जो आपके पहले जिन्होंने पूछा था, राहुल ने,
ओके ओके
उनका,
ओके।
तो उसको भी एड्रेस कर देता हूँ। वो भी स्टैंडर्डाइज टेस्टिंग के संबंधित ही है। वो पूछ रहे थे कि कोई ऐसी यूएस में यूनिवर्सिटीज हो जो एसएटी की रिक्वायरमेंट ना रखती हो। तो ऐसी है ज़रूर। आप अगर गूगल पर टाइप करें एसएटी ऑप्शनल यूएस कॉलेजेस तो आपको उनकी लिस्ट मिल जानी चाहिए। मुझे एग्जैक्टली ध्यान तो नहीं आ रही, पर शायद से यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलिफोर्निया का जो सिस्टम है राहुल, यूसीएलए, यूसीबी एटसेट्रा, वो एसएटी ऑप्शनल है जहाँ तक मुझे ध्यान आ रहा है। हो सकता है मैं गलत हूँ, पर इंटरनेट पर ये इन्फॉर्मेशन पक्के रूप से मिल जाएगी। अब आपके प्रश्न पर आता हूँ चिराग कि एसएटी, टोफल इत्यादि का सिलेबस क्या होता है। एसएटी के दो हिस्से होते हैं, पहला इंग्लिश, दूसरा मैथ्स। इंग्लिश में बस यही कॉम्प्रिहेंशन देते हैं, उसके आधार पर क्वेश्चंस आंसर करो, और सेंटेंसेस देते हैं, उनमें फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स अपनी ग्रामर के नॉलेज से करो, और बस अपनी लिटरेचर में आप क्या क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग और एनालिसिस कर पाते हो उसको दर्शाना होता है आपको टेस्ट पर अलग अलग प्रकार के प्रश्नों से। दूसरा टोफल, और जो सॉरी उसके पहले दूसरा सेक्शन जो है एसएटी का वो है मैथमेटिक्स। उसमें 10th स्टैंडर्ड तक की मैथमेटिक्स ही आती है। तो यदि आप 11th-12th में हो इंडिया में और आपने 10th तक अच्छे से अपनी मैथ्स करी है, तो एसएटी के ऊपर जो मैथ्स है वो डिफिकल्ट बिल्कुल नहीं होती।
ओके। और भव्य, एक क्वेश्चन मेरा और है, जैसे मान लो अब मैं फिलहाल तो जो ग्रेजुएशन सेकंड ईयर में हूँ, बट मेरे पास जो है 10th में मैथ्स नहीं थी, तो इसके ऊपर फिर कुछ हो सकता है या नहीं? 10th के अंदर जैसे मान लो मैथ्स नहीं है, तो क्या अगर मुझे नए सिरे से ग्रेजुएशन के लिए अगर अप्लाई करना हो यूएस में टेक्निकल कोर्स के लिए,
हाँ,
स्टैनफोर्ड वगैरह में, तो क्या मुझे वहां पे सीट मिल सकती है या नहीं मिल सकती है? ये इसके चांसेस वगैरह होते हैं कुछ
तो
विदाउट मैथ्स?
सीट मिलना ना मिलना उसके चांसेस वो तो मैं प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर पाऊंगा। काफी रैंडम प्रोसेस होता है, और मतलब आपके बारे में बहुत ज्यादा जानने के बाद भी कभी भी पक्के रूप से नहीं बताया जा सकता है कि एप्लीकेंट को मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा। पर ये बात है कि आप अभी ग्रेजुएशन के सेकंड ईयर में हो, मैं अज्यूम कर रहा हूँ बैचलर्स डिग्री के सेकंड ईयर में हो,
यस यस।
तो आप मास्टर्स की एप्लीकेशन करेंगे। उस केस में आपको एसएटी नहीं देनी पड़ेगी, आपको देनी पड़ेगी उसका इक्विवेलेंट मास्टर्स लेवल पर जीआरई, शायद ग्रेजुएट रिक्वायरमेंट एग्जाम है उसका फुल फॉर्म। उसमें भी मैथ एक हिस्सा होता है। आप आई डोंट थिंक मैथ के लिए एक्सटेन्युएशन या एक्सेप्शन मांग सकते हो, आपको भी उन सेक्शंस को अटेम्प्ट करना पड़ेगा। पर मेरे हिसाब से ये बात है कि अगर आप सिर्फ सेकेंड ईयर में हो तो आपके पास काफी साल बचे हैं कि जो आपने मैथ्स स्कूल में नहीं सीखी वो आप बस
यस।
जीआरई के लिए उस पर्सपेक्टिव से, उस एग्जाम के नीड्स के अनुसार आप अपनी मैथ के नॉलेज को रिवाइज करें, रिबिल्ड करें, और क्लियर हो जाना चाहिए आराम से।
ओके। अरे एक चीज और, जैसे मान लो अब आप वहाँ पे टेक्निकल कोर्स के लिए अप्लाई किया आपने स्टैनफोर्ड में ना,
तो वहाँ पर क्या होता है कि मुझे एक सब्जेक्ट मैंने अभी तक इंडिकेट नहीं किया, मैंने बस जनरल एरियाज ऑफ इंटरेस्ट अपने इंडिकेट किए।
ओके। तो आप कंप्यूटर साइंस चूज करना चाहते हो, कोई और सब्जेक्ट चूज करना चाहते हो? आप थोड़ा अगर आप बताना चाहो तो।
तो अभी तक मैंने डिसाइड नहीं किया किसी भी अमाउंट ऑफ
ओके
सर्टेनिटी के साथ।
ओके ओके।
हेलो।
हाँ,
थैंक यू।
हाँ, आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन। मैं भी मुंबई से ही हूँ, रोहन घाटोले में मेरा नाम। अभी भावे आपने बताया कि मैं मुंबई से ही हूँ, तो आप मुंबई से कैसे पढ़ाई कर रहे हो स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी की?
मैं आपका प्रश्न समझ नहीं पाया। मतलब मैं मुंबई में हूँ, ओ अच्छा, नहीं नहीं नहीं, एक
हाँ।
चीज क्लैरिफाई कर दूं कि स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में मैं ज्वाइन करूंगा।
अच्छा
अगर कोविड-19 नहीं होता तो सितंबर 2020 में मेरा टर्म शुरू हो जाता।
अच्छा
मैंने अभी अभी अपनी 12th की बोर्ड एग्जाम्स मार्च में खत्म करी।
अच्छा। मतलब यूएस में जाने के बाद ही हम एडमिशन ले सकते हैं?
नहीं, तो एडमिशन्स प्रोसेस जो होता है, टेस्ट देनी होती है, फॉर्म्स फिल करने होते हैं, एप्लीकेशन जो पूरा तैयार करना होता है वो मैं अगर इंडियन स्कूल में पढ़ता हूँ, इंडियन स्टूडेंट हूँ, तो फिर यही बैठ के कर दूंगा अपने कंप्यूटर पर।
अच्छा।
अगर मुझे एक्सेप्टेंस मिलती है तो फिर मैं देखता हूँ क्या है क्या नहीं, फिर मैं उस यूनिवर्सिटी को हाँ या ना जवाब देता हूँ। मेरे केस में मैंने स्टैनफोर्ड को हाँ कर दी है और उनका सितंबर 2020 में पढ़ाई शुरू होगा।
अच्छा।
जो फ्रेशमैन क्लास होता है उसको वो
अच्छा।
लोग वेलकम करते हैं, तो तब
तो
यूएस
आप
में एक्चुअली जाना होता है।
तो आप साइंस से ग्रेजुएशन कर रहे हो?
हाँ, मैंने 12th अपना साइंस किया।
अच्छा अच्छा।
Hello, Bhavya. I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, I did 12th from commerce, but I had maths. So can I go for computer science?
I think so. So here's one thing that's important to note. Even if I'd taken arts in 11th and 12th,
Yeah.
but if I can show a really, really solid background in computer science and I tell a US university, hey, I want to potentially study computer science as a subject, as a major at your institution, it is possible that they accept me and admit me. So there are no eligibility requirements as such. Of course, it is true that if you are able to show a match between your academic background in your schooling in India and the subject of study you're demonstrating interested in your US college application, that substantially increases the chances that that admissions officer sees that link and feels like you are ready for their academic rigor. But to answer your specific question, even if you've taken commerce, but if you can show that you have got a lot of background in programming, done hackathons, worked on projects, etc., and you say you want to study computer science, you will not be eliminated just because you did not take science.
हेलो, मुझे एक क्वेश्चन था। आर्ट्स लाइन जो होती है, आर्ट्स शाखा को यूएस में कुछ स्कोप है?
बहुत स्कोप है। तो मतलब आपको बस वहाँ के जो सब्जेक्ट्स की विविधता में बताऊँ, तो
अच्छा।
हम लोग यहाँ पर तो बात कर रहे हैं कंप्यूटर साइंस की और
यस।
फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ, जो कुछ भी, पर वहाँ पर क्या क्या सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ाए जाते हैं। ऑफ कोर्स अलग अलग यूनिवर्सिटीज के कुछ सब्जेक्ट ज्यादा स्ट्रांग होते हैं, कुछ थोड़े से कम, पर बस आपको एक जनरल आइडिया देने के लिए इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ सकते हैं आप वहाँ पर, पॉलिटिकल साइंस पढ़ सकते हैं, लिंग्विस्टिक्स पढ़ सकते हैं। आपको ये अगर फॉरेन लैंग्वेज में अपना माइनर लेना चाहे तो वो आप कर सकते हैं। म्यूजिक आप पढ़ सकते हैं वहाँ पर, क्रिएटिव राइटिंग हो गया, और मतलब लिस्ट जो है वो एंडलेस है। मिडल ईस्टर्न स्टडीज हो गई, एंथ्रोपोलॉजी हो गई, लैटिन अमेरिकन स्टडीज हो गई, ईस्ट एशियन स्टडीज हो गई, अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन स्टडीज हो गई, और फिर स्टेम के अंदर साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, इंजीनियरिंग, मैथमेटिक्स। अभी तो कंप्यूटर साइंस बस टिप ऑफ द आइसबर्ग है, उसके अंदर भी आप कर सकते हैं मैथमेटिक्स एंड कंप्यूटेशनल साइंस, सिर्फ कंप्यूटर साइंस, सिर्फ मैथमेटिक्स, केमिस्ट्री या केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग या फिजिक्स या मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग या जियोफिजिकल इंजीनियरिंग या अर्थ सिस्टम्स या एनवायरमेंटल इंजीनियरिंग। तो ये सारी काफी ब्रांचेस होती है जिन्हें एक्सप्लोर करना मेरे हिसाब से आवश्यक है, ताकि हम सब समझ पाए कि हमारे इंटरेस्ट को कौन सी फील्ड बेस्ट सूट कर पाएगी।
Hello, Bhavya. I have a question.
Sure.
What were the accessibility tools that you used to study in 11th and 12th for studying physics, chemistry, and mathematics?
So I use pretty low-tech options. There are all these more advanced things like graphing calculators and sonification software and tactile diagrams, but I think resource constraints in India limited my options. But I think I had a really rewarding experience. I used a Word document and the NVDA screen reader. I did not type using MathML, MathPlay, MathType, etc. I simply typed in plain text. I figured out a notation system which I could just type in plain text ASCII characters using different punctuation marks, different combinations of characters which would indicate different symbols, such that I knew and I understood what I was writing, and I could get my teachers, faculties, and professors to also make sense of what I was writing, that they could enable better education for me. Apart from that, I occasionally used swellline papers on which my teachers would draw a diagram to explain it to me, but most often it would either just be a verbal description, which made sense most of the times for things in chemistry and mathematics, or it would be the teacher just taking my finger and drawing the diagram on the table with my finger, so I got a spatial understanding and in extension could visualize what was going on. So yeah, I didn't spend any money on any expensive fancy assistive technology, so to speak.
Okay, so did you write your exam on the paper with the help of scribe, or did you write on computer?
The IIT JEE main exam that I gave back in January this year, I gave with the scribe, did not have a screen reader based, computer based testing option for blind students. Even if they would, I wouldn't have taken it either ways. For my 12th board exams, I used a computer to give all of my exams.
Have you given JEE exam?
Yes, JEE mains.
Okay. Then how do you give, because JEE is a very IT and graphical program.
Sorry, do you mean JEE is visual in the nature of its questions?
Yes, मतलब मैं ऐसा कह रहा हूँ कि JEE में तो कोडिंग होता है और प्रोग्रामिंग होता है, तो आप कैसे मैनेज किए थे?
No, Rahul, you are mistaking. JEE is joint entrance examination.
No, मैं
That-
राहुल नहीं हूँ मैं.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
Raju. Sorry. So JEE is the entrance examination for engineering colleges.
Yes,
So
yes.
after you get into the engineering college or IT stream in graduation, there you have to write, you have to do programming or write a test on programming.
Yes, programming and coding. Yes.
Yes.
तो IIT JEE के अंतर्गत कोई कोडिंग प्रोग्रामिंग करने की जरूरत नहीं होती, उसमें सिर्फ फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री
Chemistry
और
and
मैथमेटिक्स के आधार पर क्वेश्चंस
अच्छा।
पूछे जाते हैं.
अच्छा. और मुझे एक ऐसा भी क्वेश्चन था, अगर हमें यूएस में कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन लेनी हो, तो हम वहाँ कैसे मैनेज करके रह सकते हैं, क्योंकि हम मतलब यूएस में बहुत सारी कठिनाइयाँ होंगी, हमें फेस करनी पड़ेंगी.
तो ये क्वेश्चन ऐसा है जिसका आंसर मैं भी अभी ढूंढ रहा हूँ, एक ऑनगोइंग कॉन्वर्जेशन है, क्योंकि मैं भी अभी यूएस पहुंचा नहीं हूँ, पर मैंने काफी सारे स्टूडेंट्स से बात करी है जो स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में ब्लाइंड है और पढ़ रहे थे या पढ़ रहे हैं, अन्य इंस्टीट्यूशंस में पढ़ रहे थे या पढ़ रहे हैं. तो वहां पर क्या होता है, इंडियन कॉलेजेस में ऐसा नहीं होता सिस्टम. वहां के लॉ में ऐसा है कि जो भी स्टूडेंट्स विद स्पेशल नीड्स है उनको अकोमोडेशंस बाय लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी ऑब्लिगेटेड है प्रोवाइड करने को. एज अ रिजल्ट क्या होता है कि यूएस की यूनिवर्सिटीज में हर में एक स्पेसिफिक ऑफिस ऑफ एक्सेसिबल एजुकेशन या ऑफिस फॉर स्टूडेंट्स विद डिसेबिलिटी सर्विसेज, ये सारे सेटअप होते हैं. मतलब कुछ लोग एक्टिवली इंचार्ज होते हैं डिसेबल्ड स्टूडेंट्स की जरूरतों को पूरा करने के लिए ही. तो उससे थोड़ा इजी हो जाता है क्योंकि एक पॉइंट ऑफ कांटेक्ट मिल जाता है कि हाँ, हमें इन्हीं व्यक्तियों को पूछना है कि हम लोग को एक्सेसिबल मटेरियल प्रोवाइड करके दे या एग्जाम में अकोमोडेशंस के लिए रिक्वेस्ट इनिशिएट करे इत्यादि. और उन्हीं लोगों के पास सालों का एक्सपीरियंस भी होता है क्योंकि उन्होंने पास्ट में भी अलग अलग विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड या नॉन विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड अलग प्रकार की डिसेबिलिटी वाले स्टूडेंट्स को सपोर्ट किया है और वो ही कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं. तो वो अपना अनुभव भी ला सकते हैं हमारे प्रोसेस को सिंप्लीफाई करने में.
ओके, थैंक्स.
Hello.
हाँ,
I have a question. That you told that you were studying mathematics with the help of only Word documents and your teacher's verbal description. So I want to ask that what you did for like parabola, solids, and circles, that kind of complex equations.
sure. So I think one piece of context to give here is that I got one-on-one coaching, which is rare and hard to get. The reason for that is because the entrance examination that this coaching institute had, I topped it. And what is a unique feature of the coaching industry is that they put disproportionate resources into the students they think are most sellable. Now, if you have a visually impaired student who is of high caliber in terms of academics and test scoring, then I think they become all the more willing to give things like one-on-one coaching and specialized facilities. So, for instance, if I talk about parabola, circles, etc., then I think at least conics is something that is quite verbally doable. Maybe to begin with, you want to be given a bit of a tactual sense with your finger of what a parabola looks like, how it changes its orientation depending on the signs of x and y, etc. But I think to answer a general question, for instance, with more complex equations and more graphical topics, my teachers just took my finger, started drawing on the table, and we figured out a way to verbally communicate it, and I got a more solid grasp of the concept, and then it just becomes simpler. So here's the thing, it's a process of learning and figuring out and falling down and then getting back up with every new chapter that you study. But it's just that if you are comfortable with the general process of adaptation, and if your teacher is willing to innovate and put in that extra thought about how to modify their teaching style, then it can really be a two-way channel of just communicating of how to crack this concept, how to manage those questions. I think it works out.
Bhavya, one thing I missed. Can I put your video on? Is it okay? Are you comfortable?
I'm not sure if that would be very useful, and I don't think I'm in the most presentable state.
Okay, fine. Okay, no issues. No issues. Carry on.
Okay, Bhavya, I would like to ask that as you told about one-on-one coaching, but I was in the Pune for 11th and 12th, but some academies and coaching centers did not let me even to take their entrance exams because of my blindness. So there are some things that people discriminates towards us, and then so what do you want to talk about that?
That is true, and that's the reality of the world. I think what worked out for me in Mumbai, even when I was beginning in the 11th grade, I was looking for a good JEE coaching institution to spend the next 2 years in. I had approached 3, of which one rejected me outright. Another said, we think you won't be able to do this. This will be too complicated. We can just teach you 11th, 12th state board engineering syllabus, but you shouldn't be preparing for the IIT JEE. And that was also a dismissal. A third was also quite hesitant to take me in at first, but then they were like, okay, just give the entrance test and we'll see after that what can be done. And fortunately for me, my entrance examination results were very good, and that's what incentivized them to take a chance on me. I think, yes.
Yeah.
So, of course, we are new and we are quite different students for the coaching institutions as well. So, their reservations and uncertainties are to some extent justified, but you need to be vocal in expressing your needs. You need to explain how you operate and why you think you're likely to succeed. You need to maybe just give a few examples of blind students you already know who have either taken the JEE in the past, prepared for it, who already study in the IITs, who do science and STEM in general. And all of those things, bit by bit, convince a coaching institution that they should take a chance on you just like one did on me.
Hello, I have one question. Please tell me about some information of SAT exam.
What specific information would you like about
SAT exam. You told in your interview.
सेट की प्रिपरेशन कैसे हो
कैसे?
सकती है और टोफल की प्रिपरेशन कैसे हो सकती है?
अच्छा, तो एसएटी और टोफल की जो इंग्लिश है उसके लिए मेरे केस में मुझे ज़्यादा प्रिपेयर करना नहीं पड़ा। उसमें बस मैंने पास्ट ईयर के प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस जो होते हैं, जैसे उस इंटरव्यू में भी मैंने कहा था,
अच्छा,
एसएटी के लिए मैंने बस खान एकेडमी यूज किया।
खान
मैथ्स के भी
एकेडमी।
खान एकेडमी, हाँ, खान एकेडमी पर 8 फुल लेंथ सेक्शन बाय सेक्शन क्वेश्चंस है विद सॉल्यूशंस। आप खुद को टेस्ट भी कर सकते हो इत्यादि। तो उस आधार पर आपको एक अच्छा डायग्नोसिस मिल जाता है, एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मिल जाता है जिस पर आप धीरे धीरे करके इम्प्रूव कर सके। तो एसएटी तो बस उसी प्रकार से हो जाता है। टोफिल की इंग्लिश तो काफ़ी सिंपल होती है, तो अगर आपने एसएटी की इंग्लिश क्रैक कर ली है, फिर बस आपको टोफिल का फॉर्मेट देख लेना है। थोड़ा लिसनिंग स्पीकिंग के एडिशनल सेक्शन आ जाते हैं, उनके संदर्भ में थोड़ी तैयारी करनी पड़ेगी विशेष। बाकी एक चीज मैं बस थोड़ा क्लियर कर दूं कि जैसे हम समझते हैं हमारे 10th के या 12th के बोर्ड एग्जाम, उनमें क्या होता है, नया नया सिलेबस हम लोग को लर्न करना पड़ता है, मैटर
हाँ।
हमको पता होना होता है। एसएटी टोफिल में ऐसा नहीं है। वो बस आपके जनरल क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग और एनालिटिकल स्किल्स टेस्ट कर रहे हैं। जो चीजें आपको अच्छी खासी मात्रा में ऑलरेडी पता है, उसको आप अप्लाई कैसे कर पा रहे हो। तो मेरा बस यही है मंत्र कि प्रैक्टिस पे थोड़ा ज्यादा ध्यान दिया जाए, एज अपोज टू किसी प्रकार की बुक या थियरी को रटना एसएटी टोफिल टेस्ट के लिए।
Actually, I want to become a psychiatrist. Then, how do I prepare for US university?
The process is largely similar. You give roughly the same tests. Maybe your SAT subject specific test selection becomes a little different. If you're giving an advanced placement exam, then you take AP psychology.
Yeah.
And in your college application, you write essays, you indicate interests, and show past leadership and commitment towards the fields of mental health, psychiatry, and psychology. So the framework in which all students, irrespective of their interests, is the same. It's just how you present yourself within that framework on that college application that changes from student to student, because our academic interests and unique personality traits are different from student to student.
Then, which form I can fill?
The same forms. As I said, the framework is the same, which means all the forms that you need to fill are the exact same.
Okay.
Hello, Bhavya.
Yes.
I want to ask that did you look for any other country instead of USA while applying process?
In my case, no. I'm not opposed to the idea of studying in another foreign country.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure UK, Canada, Singapore, etc. might also be great options. But in my personal scenario, I did not consider other countries.
Okay.
So the Ritik has a question. Ritik, please go ahead.
Hi, bro.
Hello.
I want to ask that have you get any scholarship from Stanford University, or will you pay your whole expense with on your own?
No. US education is quite expensive. I am unable to afford the full cost on my own. You get to apply for financial aid to the universities themselves. And I talked a little bit in that interview about need aware universities, need blind universities, and maybe that distinction is worth revisiting at that point. But in my case, I got a very solid financial aid package from Stanford. So a large part of all my expenses will be covered by the university itself.
And I want to ask that can we get scholarship for our post graduation in USA?
I would be a little reserved in my comment about those because I don't have extensive knowledge about them. But from my limited understanding, you can apply for financial aid in case of some universities and colleges, even for a master's. B, there are external scholarship organizations, I think maybe like the Tatas, that offer support financially for Indian students pursuing graduate education abroad. And C, once you reach there, and even if you need to bear the brunt of the costs of your first semester of master study yourself, you can get assistantships, research opportunities, and other job positions, which may help you alleviate some of your costs independently. So those are things to consider, but I wouldn't be very confident in trusting me on this point.
Okay, thank you. Your knowledge will be great impact on me.
Thank you.
Now next, who else is there? Kamal Kumar has some question. Kamal, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Kamal.
Hello. Bhavesha, can you hear me, please?
Rahul, and I want to ask that what experience you have in programming, like which language you learned, or any application you have developed yet?
So I would point out that on my college application, I indicated chemistry as my first area of
Hello.
interest,
Yeah.
mathematics and
Hello.
computational science as my second area of interest, and communications as my third. So I tried to show commitment more along those lines as opposed to computer science and programming that much. But in general, just to answer your question, Momita ma'am, could you handle that?
Yeah.
Sorry, Rahul. So what I was saying
Yeah.
is that, just to answer your question for curiosity's sake, I have basic HTML experience, basic Python programming experience. I've done a few hackathons and projects here and there, but by no stretch of the imagination would I call myself an experienced or even an intermediate coder. I'm primitive and elementary in my knowledge of it at best.
Okay, I have did also Python course from Coursera from University of Michigan previous year.
That's great.
Yeah. And I have, while I was searching for the universities in the USA, specifically if we want to get into Ivy League universities, then we must have achievements like national awards, international prizes, or like we have to either specialize in one field or we have to all-rounder. Is that true?
Here's the thing, there are so many students from India who are vying for that same seat at that Ivy League institution or another top ranked school in the US. Naturally, there are only so many students that those US admissions officer can handpick, and they will only want to admit the best of the best. And in India, again, there are many students who get to go to national and international competitions, win awards at those high scales and stages. So it becomes important to have something that really stands out, that seems extraordinary. But then again, you don't necessarily need to get into an Ivy League university in the first place in order to get a great education at the undergraduate level. There are universities maybe in the top 50s or top 100s in the US, which are extremely attractive and high quality, and which are less competitive, less selective, which you can apply to and have a much higher chance of getting accepted to. So by no means should you confine yourself to only the Ivy Leagues, which I think are a little bit too glamorized, because there are excellent options if you go a little lower in the tier, and those provide comparable qualities of education.
Yeah, because when I was talking with Mr. Karthik Soni, then he also told me that Ivy
Hello.
League. Hello.
Actually I am disconnected. Sorry.
Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah, when I was talking with Mr. Karthik Soni, then he also told me that we shouldn't look for only Ivy League universities, and US university cities are quite competitive, I think. Uh, Even they are not Ivy Leagues, but lot of international students apply there. So these are very competitive. So we need extracurricular activities to stand out our application. And there are also things also that we need letters of recommendations. So there are some issues regarding that. Teachers might not be helpful towards us to give recommendation letters.
So all of the things that you said, I think they're broadly correct. On your question about getting letters of recommendation from teachers, it is a little bit of a hassle, but you only need 2 teachers who could have taught you anywhere from the 10th, 11th or 12th grades.
Okay,
So you can,
they shouldn't be from my college teachers.
no, so they must be from the educational institution which you are attending at that point in time.
Is coaching institutions are preferable?
No, so if you are going to a particular college, then
Yeah.
the teacher who recommends you must be from that college.
Okay, suppose if I have studied 11th and 12th in Pune, then and I have studied 9th and 10th in Ahmednagar. So can I give recommendation letters whereas of teacher of Ahmednagar school?
It is more advisable to select teachers from the institution which you have been attending more recently. But
Yeah.
I totally relate to what you're saying. In my case as well, my math teacher was from my 11th, 12th grade college, and my English teacher, whom I selected to write my recommendation, was from my 9th, 10th grade CBSE school. So that is acceptable, less advisable. It worked in my case, but I would still say that if you have teachers with whom you have a really good rapport and who might be willing to take out some time to write letters of recommendations for you from your Pune school, your 11th, 12th grade institution, then I think that's better.
हेलो
Hello.
हाँ मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा था कि एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलम एक्टिविटीज में क्या क्या इंक्लूड हो सकता है, थोड़ा सा डीपली थोड़ा सा आप बता दें।
एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज में कुछ भी आप डाल सकते हो। कुछ भी से मेरा क्या मतलब है, अगर आप म्यूजिक में काफी हो, आपने अलग अलग प्रोग्राम्स में परफॉर्म किया है, कॉम्पिटिशन्स जीती है, इतने साल की ट्रेनिंग ली है, इन इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स को बजाते हो, वोकल स्टाइल्स में स्पेशलाइज करते हो, वो एक एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी हो गई। फिर मेरे केस में उसके अलावा क्या क्या थी, एक थी कि मैं स्पीच एंड डिबेट में काफी एक्टिवली इन्वॉल्व था, तो वो मेरे पूरे कॉलेज एप्लीकेशन के थ्रू आउट मैंने हाईलाइट करने का प्रयत्न किया था। पर एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज के भीतर भी मैंने अपने मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशंस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस के पार्टिसिपेशन को दर्शाया, जो जूनियर स्टूडेंट्स को मैंने थोड़ा मेंटरशिप दिया था वो मैंने लिखा, अपनी स्कूल की टीम में अलग अलग स्टूडेंट्स को कैसे स्पीच राइटिंग में हेल्प करता था, किन अलग टॉपिक्स पर मैंने वक्तव्य दिए हैं, उनके ऊपर लिखा। फिर क्विजिंग के अंदर भी मेरा थोड़ा सा एक्सपीरियंस था, तो कुछ 3 जितने क्विज कॉम्पिटिशन जिनमें मैंने पार्ट लिया है अक्रॉस माय स्कूल लाइफ, उनके बारे में मैंने लिखा। फिर मैंने स्पेस कैंप करके एक प्रोग्राम था यूएस में, उसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया था और उसके एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में मैंने ब्रीफली लिखा। तो कुछ भी इंक्लूड कर सकते हो, कोई कम्युनिटी सर्विस इनिशिएटिव यदि आपने चालू किया हो, कहीं पर वॉलंटियर किया हो, तो आप उसको भी इंक्लूड कर सकते हो, या आपकी और कोई टैलेंट या हॉबी हो जिसको आपने थोड़े से भी एक्सटेंसिवली परस्यू किया हो, तो उसको आप मेंशन कर सकते हो। आपको बस अपनी खुद की पर्सनालिटी जो आप दिन ब दिन करते रहते हो, थोड़ा स्ट्रक्चर्ड तरीके से, जो एक एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी के तौर पर गिनी जा सके, उन सभी चीज़ों को इंक्लूड कर सकते हो, क्योंकि आफ्टर ऑल एडमिशंस ऑफिसर बस वही जानना चाहते हैं कि आप जब उनके कॉलेज कैंपस पर पहुंचोगे तो पढ़ाई तो आप करने वाले हो क्लासरूम में, वो तो सभी स्टूडेंट्स करेंगे, पर जब पढ़ाई हो जाएगी क्लासरूम में सुबह आफ्टरनून को, तो आप इवनिंग्स में अपना टाइम कहाँ स्पेंड करोगे? या आप कहीं पर वॉलंटियर करोगे शायद, या आप बाकी क्विज बोल कॉम्पिटिशन में पार्ट लोगे, या बाकी डिबेट सोसाइटी का मेंबर बनेंगे। बस वही आइडिया आपको देना है। अपने स्कूल लाइफ में आपने जो अलग अलग प्रकार की क्रियाएं करी है उनके बारे में जानकारी देकर।
तो हर एक्टिविटी का जैसे कोई प्रूफ तो नहीं होता है कि जैसे आपने जैसे स्टूडेंट्स को मेंटरशिप किया या उन्हें राइटिंग में हेल्प किया, तो जस्ट डिस्क्राइब करना होता है थोरोली, या उसका कुछ प्रूफ भी हमें साथ में अटैच करना पड़ता है एप्लीकेशन के साथ?
नहीं, प्रूफ नहीं देना होता। थोड़ा ऑनर बेस्ड सिस्टम है ये, कि आप जो बता रहे हैं वो ट्रस्ट करते हैं कि आप सही इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, और आई एम श्योर कि वो लोग ट्रेंड भी होंगे कि जब फैब्रिकेशंस हो या झूठी जानकारी दी गई हो तो उसे कैसे पकड़ना, हो सकता है वो रिसर्च करते हो
हेलो
काफी सारी चीजों।
जी।
हाँ,
I was in that process also, that I also know that something like if you are mentioning your extracurricular activities, then you have to put into story that how you pursued it, uh, like people write personal statements and essays in the forms of stories, that how you achieved that and how that doing that activity came in your mind. Am I correct, Bhavya?
दैट इज राइट। तो
ओके।
इनके बोलने का मतलब बस यही है कि ठीक है, आपने लिख तो लिया कि आपने ये सारी 10 बहुत इम्प्रेसिव चीजें करी, पर आपको फिर एसेज में इलैबोरेट करना पड़ेगा कि आपने क्यों किया, इन चीजों में आपने क्या सीखा, आपकी लाइफ पर इनके क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़े। उससे अच्छी तरह से आइडिया लग जाता है कि क्या आपने इसको आर्टिफिशियली बनाया है या
हाँ
आपकी एक
हाँ हाँ
ह्यूमन
हाँ।
स्टोरी आप दे जा रहे हो।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
तो उस आधार पर जज किया जाता है।
ओके।
हेलो।
यस।
हाय, अभी मैंने रिसेंटली 12th की एग्जाम दिया है, तो अगर मुझे आर्ट्स लाइन में से साइकोलॉजी में अगर मुझे कुछ के में अगर कुछ एडमिशन लेनी हो तो मैं कैसे प्रिपेयर कर सकता हूँ?
तो मेरे हिसाब से थोड़ा सा लेट हुआ हो सकता है, क्योंकि जो अलग अलग एग्जाम्स देनी होती है उनको अच्छा खासा टाइम लग जाता है। मैंने दिसंबर 2018 में शायद शुरू किया था अपना SAT।
Hello.
हेलो।
Yeah, I think I can suggest him something. Uh, uh,
Yes.
Rahul, we can't hear you in case you wanted to say something.
हाँ भाभी, जरा बताइए ना मेरे क्वेश्चन
मेरे
के
को
बारे
सर
में।
मत बताइए, मैं आपकी उम्र का ही हूँ, आपसे इनफैक्ट छोटा भी हो सकता हूँ, क्या पता। एनीवेज, दिसंबर 2018 में मैंने शुरू किया था, और
हाँ।
इन जनरल थोड़ा सा दिमाग में था कि US में जा सकता हूँ, उसके एप्लीकेशन के लिए एक्टिविटीज लिख सकता हूँ। तो उस माइंडसेट के साथ मैंने 2018 के मिड में भी कुछ प्रोग्राम्स में पार्टिसिपेट किया था।
अच्छा।
तो ये बात ठीक है कि US में एजुकेशन की क्वालिटी का थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस हो सकता है, पर आप दो चीजें कर
excuse me,
सकते हो।
Bhavya.
हाँ।
Hello.
Yes.
Actually, sorry for interrupting. I had got a call, so that's why I was disconnected. मैं मतलब हाँ, ये कहना चाहता था, जो साइकोलॉजी करना चाहते हैं ना, तो अभी आपने 12th किया है ना, एग्जाम दिया है, तो आई थिंक यू कैन लुक फॉर European countries. So their education system is quite on the academic basis they select. Like मैंने अभी बहुत सारा सर्च करके देखा है कि they don't require even standardized test of like they don't require like mathematics and subject tests in so many subjects. So इफ यू वांट लाइक अभी हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है, सही है ना, कि
Yes.
लाइक पहले से हमारा इशू होता है कि हम मतलब महाराष्ट्र में क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है, एसएससी अगर से हम पढ़ते हैं तो 10th तक मैथमेटिक्स का इशू हो जाता है कि हमें हमारे स्कूल्स वगैरह अलाउड नहीं करते, तो फिर तो वो एक मेजर इशू है इसी वजह से। और फिर हम रूरल स्कूल्स में वगैरह पढ़ते हैं तो वो एक प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है। तो मैं सजेस्ट करना चाहूंगा कि यूएस इज अ बेटर, बट यूएस सबके लिए अंडर ग्रेड के लिए बेटर नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि जिसने अपने 12th तक मतलब ऐसा मैं तो सोचता हूँ कि जिसके मतलब 12th तक खाने पीने का सब जो प्रॉब्लम है, तो वो कैसे कर सकेगा एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज, वो कैसे अचीव कर सकेगा इंटरनेशनल नेशनल अवार्ड्स। तो मेरा मानना यह है कि अगर आपके 10th और 12th के अगर ग्रेड्स अच्छे हैं तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड, नेदरलैंड एंड यूके, ये चार
Actually, my maths is very well because I am gain 96% in 10th.
बट
That's why
आपका
I'm
क्या आपका रेगुलर मैथमेटिक्स था या अरिथमेटिक था?
नहीं regular mathematics था.
ओके, तो वो तो बेटर है, लेकिन अगर एसएटी का और सब्जेक्ट टेस्ट का क्या रहता है ना, हमें मतलब सब कुछ 11th के फर्स्ट टर्म में प्रिपेयर वगैरह मतलब नहीं, क्या सब फॉर्म्स वगैरह फिल करने होते हैं और
अच्छा.
11th में ही सब कुछ मतलब प्रिपेयर करना पड़ता है, टेस्ट देने पड़ते हैं।
अच्छा.
और 12th का शुरू होते होते मतलब 11th एंड होते होते हम अप्लाई करते हैं और
अच्छा.
तब कहीं जाके 12th में हमारा मतलब हमें ऑफर लेटर वगैरह मिलता है।
अच्छा.
तो ऐसे यूएस की प्रोसेस जो है वो हमारा जब स्कूल शुरू रहता है ना 11th 12th तब रहती है। अब 12th खत्म होने के बाद यूएस की प्रोसेस हम शुरुआत नहीं कर सकते। तो मेरा कहना यह है कि ऑस्ट्रेलियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम इज आल्सो बेटर and
For psychology.
For art subjects Europe is better, like economics, history, politics. Finland is better for politics. I didn't search for psychology, but European countries are better for humanities subjects.
Okay.
मैं भी
Thank
इनपुट्स
you.
कुछ देना चाहूंगा इस पर।
Yes, sir.
राहुल ने काफी सारी यूजफुल बातें ऑलरेडी कही।
Yes, sir.
पहली बात तो ये है कि इसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है और ये काफी सारे इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स करते हैं। अंडर ग्रेजुएट स्टडीज जो अपनी बैचलर्स डिग्री है वो इंडिया में प्राप्त करते हैं और उसके बाद मास्टर्स के लिए अब्रॉड जाते हैं, तो ये भी एक ऑप्शन आपको ध्यान में रखना चाहिए।
अच्छा.
दूसरी बात ये हो सकती है कि आप कंट्री बाय कंट्री भी एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं, पर मेरा सुझाव ये भी रहेगा कि आप देखिए कि उस देश के अंदर कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटीज है जिनके साइकोलॉजी प्रोग्राम्स ज्यादा स्ट्रांग होते हैं। तो एक कंट्री के अंदर अलग अलग इंस्टीट्यूशंस में किसी स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट की स्ट्रेंथ में डिस्पैरिटीज हो सकती है। तीसरी पॉसिबिलिटी ये है, मैं बस जानकारी के लिए बता रहा हूँ, मैं रेकमेंड नहीं करूंगा, कि आप गैप ईयर ले सकते हैं, अर्थात एक साल आपने ड्रॉप लिया, ये सारी टेस्ट कंप्लीट करी और फिर अप्लाई किया। मेरे हिसाब से काफी रिस्की है और बेनिफिट्स इसके क्लियर नहीं होते हर एप्लीकेंट के लिए, तो इस पर आप
नहीं, हालांकि गैप ईयर लेने का मैंने भी सोचा था, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है ना।
हेलो।
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, carry on. Let him complete. Yes.
Hello. Am I audible?
हाँ, आप बोलिए।
हाँ, तो गैप ईयर लेने का भी ऑप्शन है, लेकिन वो मतलब इतना इफेक्टिव नहीं लगता है मुझे भी। मतलब मैं भी सोच रहा था गैप ईयर लेने का, लेकिन मुझको भी सजेशंस मिले कि गैप ईयर से ये पक्का नहीं है कि आपका एडमिशन होगा ही होगा। तो मैं सोचता हूँ कि अंडरग्रेड हम किसी और कंट्री से करें और मास्टर्स यूएस से करें।
अच्छा, हाँ, वो बहुत अच्छा होगा।
अच्छा, Kamal Kumar wants to ask something, so let us give him a chance. Kamal, please go ahead.
Hello. Yes, can you all hear?
Yeah.
Hello, Bhavesh. I have a question, please.
Sure.
Okay, so Bhavesh, I actually had completed my intermediate in 2005, and after that, in first year, BA first year itself, I had to discontinue my education because of some lack of facilities here in Nagpur and even in those days there were no resources available for us, like, and we had to be dependent completely on audio books and all. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So we had to be dependent completely on audio books, and especially the cassettes and all, because those days we did not have well accessible mobiles and computers to be used also, because so I faced a lot of challenges. So what I did was I just approached Rebel India in between the first year itself, and I went to Bangalore. I got training and I got job there. Worked for about 3.5 years in Bangalore. Okay, I got two jobs. One after other. So now, is there any scope for me? Hello.
So yes, so I know of people who have
Your voice is
finished
breaking,
their
Bhavisha.
education.
Hello,
Is my
Bhavisha.
voice breaking for anybody else? Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah,
Am I breaking up for any other
Ah,
people?
now you can clear. Now you're audible. Yes, go ahead.
All right. So I know of people a very late age have begun their undergraduate or graduate education. I also know of people who completed a bachelor's
Again,
degree
you're
in
breaking so much.
India,
Again,
then
your
took.
voice is breaking.
Is my voice breaking
Yeah,
from time
your
to
voice.
time to the same degree?
Yes,
Yes,
your voice
Bhavya.
is breaking.
Yes.
Could you maybe give me just a 1 minute to check my internet connectivity?
Now you're audible. You can carry on now.
All right,
Bhavish,
so
I
I'll just
can
carry
hear
on.
you.
Okay, I'll carry on. So I know of people who have taken a few years after their bachelor's degree in India to get some work experience and then applied for a master's abroad and had success.
Okay.
But I think again the point is this: your aims should be clear in your mind to you, what it is that you hope to get out
Okay.
of a bachelor's or master's degree at this age and at this stage. If you are happy with your job, or if you want to just get upward economic and social mobility by working harder in your profession, in your industry itself, how an education would interact with that. I think those are questions to ask oneself, and if it
Now
seems
actually now I have. Hello.
yes,
Hello.
yes,
Yeah, now I'm not working actually. I had quit the job. So now what I'm thinking is I just wanted to continue where I left from. So is that possible from outside, or like how it is? Like from here only we can apply, or is there an option like if you are not able to go abroad? So do we have any options to continue from here itself? Because I want to do it from better uh, education center, because here in Nagpur, university, I think it's not that good.
I would imagine that there are at least a few good institutions in Nagpur as well. Perhaps not to the same degree, not having the same prestige, etc. But
Yes,
decently good colleges if you look
yes.
for
I
them
do
a
know
little
that.
bit.
I do know that. Yeah.
Furthermore, I want to add another useful resource. Online
Okay.
courses, also called MOOCs, massive open online courses, on platforms like
Yes.
edX, Coursera, Skillshare,
Yeah.
Udemy, etc. Top universities
Okay.
from around the world offer full-fledged courses with all of the material, their high-quality professors teaching in video lectures with text transcripts, there being discussion boards on which you can ask questions and hopefully receive answers from community teaching assistants.
So
So
you
you get to
you mean
pursue your
Mhm.
education online, and in some
Okay.
cases you even get to study for a
Being
full-fledged
being in
master's
India
degree.
also we can being in India also we can apply for universities in abroad. Is it?
I would state it this way: being in India within the comforts of your own home,
Uh-huh.
you can study the same syllabus that a student in that top ranked US university would.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
जी कुछ
Yeah, yeah. So
मतलब
let him, hello,
हाँ
let him complete my answer. No, yeah.
I roughly
नहीं नहीं
did.
नहीं
Are there any aspects that I missed answering?
No, no, you were saying something. You were saying something. Yeah,
I was
you were
done.
saying something.
I
You
was
okay?
pretty much done.
Okay,
हेलो
okay. Now
हेलो
carry on then.
हेलो
Yes.
आपने अभी क्योसेरा के साथ कुछ दो तीन नेम्स और बताए थे, आप रिपीट कर सकते हैं?
हाँ, एक तो हो गया कोर्सेरा, दूसरों के लिए स्पेल कर देता हूँ COURSERA, मतलब कोर्स और फिर RA,
ओके
ये एक हो गया। दूसरा हुआ edX, EDX, फिर तीसरा, और ये सारे काफी सारे ऐसे हैं होंगे प्लेटफॉर्म्स, Udemy, UDEMY, चौथा हो गया स्किलशेयर, SKILLSHARE। तो अलग अलग प्लेटफॉर्म्स है। एक सर्च इंजन टाइप का भी आप समझ सकते हो, जिन सारे मूक प्लेटफॉर्म्स को मिलाकर उनमें से आपको कोर्सेज को ब्राउज करने देता है। उसका नाम है क्लास सेंट्रल, CLASSCENTRAL।
Hello.
Yes.
In this context, just one second, Sonal. In this context, Bhavya, I would like to tell you like that we have like interacted with many students, and most of the students' concern is they don't get accessible materials, good materials for maths. So, do you suggest any site or any place where they can get accessible maths materials, especially maths?
NCERT books are now available.
But they are not accessible, right?
They are.
Okay.
So accessible versions of NCERT math, up till class 12, I believe, are now produced and available. I got them from XRCVC, Xavier's Resource Center for the Visually Challenged.
Okay.
It is a rehabilitation organization based in Mumbai. I think they are available till 12th grade.
Means
11, 12.
class 1 to 12 or 11, 12?
I'm not sure. I would
Okay.
encourage you to check with them. I think they've got 8th, 9th, and 10th as well covered.
Okay, okay.
Then
For
there is,
CBSE, yeah.
yes, so NCERT,
Yeah.
CBSE. There is also this website by Dr. T.K. Bansal. It's blindtovisionaries.org, on which he uploads soft copies of NCERT textbooks and some other material.
Yeah.
On the point about online courses, if Sonal ma'am is still on the call, if you could maybe unmute her and ask her to say a few words.
Yeah. Sonal, please go ahead.
This is what I'm waiting. I have raised my hand, Bhavya. And believe me, when you brought up MOOCs, I was going to say that why don't you bring up MOOCs, because these kids are interested in learning. And believe me, you heard my request, But now I want to add to that is those of you who have still not watched a 3-part series of demystifying MOOCs that we actually recorded and aired in April on Radio Udan. Now we have all 3 parts in a playlist as a VisionAid YouTube channel. We can send it to Momita afterwards. And if you guys are interested in watching those, Bhavya is part of one of the panel. We have recorded 3 panels where how MOOCs are being used by students who are young and professional. The second one, the students who are college students. And the third one, the college students who are in school. So we have kind of in 3 series, we have demystified MOOCs, which is a very, very useful resource for everyone. And I would say everyone means just everyone you can think of, but I'm only addressing all those right now who are interested in what Bhavya did and learning from the foreign university. You don't have to wait till the lockdown ends. If you haven't started learning from the foreign university, right after this program, you can join one or more MOOCs, explore yourself, and start working. And why not I share in the chat the URL to that MOOC series, okay? Let me find it and I will share that with you. So you can watch all those 3 series, and later on, if many of you who are affiliated or connected with Indic AI have interest in talking to the panelists, and we can request Indic AI to arrange similar kind of webinar where the different panelists can come to answer questions. But before that, just how you watched Bhavya's interview before coming for this webinar, it would be very nice if you watch those MOOC interview, and we call those our loving effort to spread Lolam. And now what is Lolam? That is our term. Lolam is an infection, which is, we call it love of learning on MOOCs. Now this is very, very empowering. You can take control of your learning. These will also help you prepare for your foreign exams, like edX's class for TOEFL. Bhavya forgot to mention Khan Academy, where he prepared for SAT. And there are many such MOOCs. We have provided links to various MOOCs in these videos. So why not I stop, and I will share in the chat with everyone the link to those 3 MOOC videos. So you can watch, and then later you can share your thoughts with Indic AI and Vision8 if you would like to have such a interactive webinar to answer your questions. Okay, with those, if any one of you have attended Aditi's webinar last week, she is in part 1, Bhavya is in part 3. Obviously, our part 1 is for young professionals, part 3 is for school kids. Hello, okay. So I think I will be sharing that video. Okay, go ahead and do wait till I share.
Ma'am, just once again, I mistook you as a student. You are a teacher of Vision8?
Yes, please, yes.
Okay, okay.
And okay. I was Bhavya's mentor at Vision8.
Okay.
So, and I got to know Bhavya since he joined Vision8. And one important thing, if you haven't heard, because from your voice, I cannot make out. And I also noticed that there are not many girls here, and I don't understand why. But this particular process, I would say, if you have heard in Bhavya's interview, should be started, right after your 10th grade exam is over. That is the kind of really the latest. But you could be thinking about it even in your 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. So I was hoping to see here more of 8th, 9th, and 10th graders, but I did not see. So I'm going to share those 3 videos, where the 3rd video is more appropriate, where it is continuation, where the students from 7th to 10th grade, those were Vision8 students, have shared their MOOC experience.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, may I ask one question from to us?
Who is talking? Who is talking?
This is Rima.
Hi, Rima. Oh, hi. I've seen you in the class, Saturday class.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
Hi. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, bolo, Rima.
Ma'am, actually, I want to ask that Bhavya sir told that he did his exam on laptop. So he did your exam on maths exam also.
You can ask Bhavya.
Yes,
I don't know.
One, don't call me Bhavya sir. I am roughly the same age as all of you guys. And 2,
actually I'm in 10th.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, still I'm like 2 years older.
Hello.
I did give my math exam on my laptop in my 12th boards.
So,
yes.
Hello.
So how a teacher, like how they understand? You told that you write your maths on your, like you understand your maths which you write. So how they
Hello.
वो कैसे समझते थे वो जो आप लिखते थे?
तो मैंने 2 चीजें करी थी अपने आंसर शीट में. पहला मैंने क्या करा था कि क्वेश्चंस आंसर लिखने से पहले एक मैंने नोट लिख लिया नोट टू एग्जामिनर, उसमें मैंने कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स दे दिए कि मैं किन किन मैथमेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट्स या सिंबल्स को किस प्रकार से दर्शाता हूँ। उससे एक जनरल आइडिया लग जाए कि मेरा जो टेक्सचुअल रिप्रेजेंटेशन का तरीका है वो कैसा दिखने वाला है और उनका मीनिंग्स क्या होगा। दूसरी बात मैं ये कहूँगा कि मेरा जो लिखने का तरीका है वो इतना डिफरेंट नहीं है किसी स्टैंडर्ड तरीके से। मानो मैं क्या करता हूँ, मैं थीटा का सिंबल लिखने बजाय THETA लिख लेता हूँ।
Spelling
अब
C,
मैंने
yes,
सिंबल
yes.
लिखा या थीटा लिखा,
हाँ,
व्यक्ति को तो समझ आ गया कि हाँ ये
yes,
थीटा की
yes.
ही बात कर रहा है। दूसरी बात, मैंने अगर डिटर्मिनेंट्स और मैट्रिसेस जो टेबल्स टाइप के होते हैं उनको, अब मैं टेबल बनाने में थोड़ा टाइम लगता है तो उनको मैंने रिप्रेजेंट कर दिया, मतलब एक लाइन में ये, दूसरी लाइन में ये एलिमेंट्स, तीसरी लाइन में ये एलिमेंट्स, तो वो भी विजुअली समझ आ जाएगा किसी रीजनेबल एग्जामिनर को।
Okay.
तो उस प्रकार से जो मेरे टेक्निक्स है, मतलब मल्टीप्लिकेशन को स्टार सिंबल से रिप्रेजेंट कर
Yes,
दिया,
yes.
न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर को सेपरेट करने के लिए ब्रैकेट्स लगा दिए, ये सारी
Yes.
चीजें कोई ऐसा एग्जामिनर जो थोड़ा ध्यान से पढ़े, और
Yes.
ऊपर से मेरा पेपर है ही इतना अलग कंप्यूटर पर, शायद ही और स्टूडेंट्स के मिलते होंगे उनको असेस करने के लिए, तो थोड़ा अलग से ध्यान तो आई गेस जाएगा। और मैंने HSC बोर्ड के ऑफिस में जाकर भी बात करी थी चेक करने के लिए क्या ये एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, क्या पेपर चेकिंग डिपार्टमेंट ये एवेल्युएट कर पाएगी। तो मुझे उनकी तरफ से कंसर्न अथॉरिटी से कंफर्मेशन मिल गई थी कि ऐसे तरीके से भी वो लोग कर पाएंगे असेसमेंट
Okay.
फेयरली।
और जो आपका जो सैट का एग्जाम था वो आपने ऑनलाइन दिया था लैपटॉप पे या फिर कैसे?
SAT का एग्जाम मैंने राइटर के साथ दिया था।
ओके ओके। और एक और क्वेश्चन था कि जैसे कि हमने 11th के स्टार्टिंग में हमने वो फॉर्म वगैरह फिल कर दिए सब कुछ और एग्जाम भी दे दिया, और हमारे 12th के एग्जाम से पहले, मतलब 12th का एग्जाम हमारा अच्छा नहीं आता है, मतलब जो एग्जाम का रिजल्ट है वो अच्छा नहीं आता है, तो क्या उसके बाद भी वो उसको बच्चे को लेंगे अगर उसका एंट्रेंस अच्छा होता है तो?
एक मजे की बात बताता हूँ कि जब कॉलेजेस में एप्लीकेशंस आप भेजते हो वो 12th के बोर्ड एग्जाम्स के काफी महीने पहले भेजते हो। मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ, मेरे 12th के बोर्ड्स कब हुए, मार्च 2020 में। मैंने अपनी स्टैनफोर्ड एप्लीकेशन कब भेज दी थी, पूरी कंप्लीट करके सारा इंफॉर्मेशन, स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड टेस्टिंग रिजल्ट्स, लेटर्स ऑफ रिकमेंडेशन, एसेज, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स सब कंप्लीट करके मैंने भेज दी थी अक्टूबर 2019 में, है ना। दूसरे यूनिवर्सिटीज में भी मैंने अप्लाई किया था, उनको भी दिसंबर 2019 तक सारा कंप्लीट कर दिया था। तो एप्लीकेशन का जो टाइमलाइन होता है वो आपके 12th के बोर्ड एग्जाम्स को प्रीसीड करता है, उसके पहले ही खत्म हो जाता है। अब 12th के बोर्ड एग्जाम्स का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या, कि यदि आपको एक्सेप्टेंस मिल गया तो फिर अगर आपके 12th के बोर्ड एग्जाम्स में बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट ड्रॉप होगा तो वो लोग ये एज अ फैक्टर यूज कर सकते हैं कि आपको वो इधर अपना एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफर विड्रॉ कर दे या आपको एडमिशन साइकिल में थोड़ा डीप्रायोरिटाइज किया जाए, तो वो थोड़ा सा असर पड़ सकता है। पर इन जनरल मैं कहूँगा कि ज्यादातर चीजें आपकी खत्म हो जाती है 12th बोर्ड्स के पहले एप्लीकेशन के संबंधित।
Hey guys,
Hello.
I have just shared
Hello.
the link to those videos, so please do watch, copy those, and do watch it after this webinar. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Just Rahul, once again, Roshni has some question. Roshni, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, Roshni.
Actually, you told you used to use a Word document for mathematics. So, do you use LaTeX or ASCII, if I'm right?
I did not use LaTeX. I just typed in plain text. It sounds kind of confusing, strange, and not so sure how that would work, but it did.
Okay, actually, I learned LaTeX from XRCVC just like 2 years back, I suppose. So, my question was like, now I'm in grade 10, so for my grade 9 examinations, I used laptop. So, like, I feel that LaTeX and ASCII both take a lot of time to like complete the math papers.
I can relate, which is why I personally never used LaTeX for any math examination or for any practical purposes. I think it's a useful skill to have, knowledge that will help you later on in life when you are maybe writing down mathematical contents which other sighted people who are collaborating with you on some project, maybe say at college or at work later in life. But I get where you're coming from, and that's exactly why I did not use LaTeX for any functional purposes.
Okay. Just to repeat, Sonal ma'am has given the YouTube link for MOOC classes in the chat box. You can copy it and keep it for your reference and view it later.
I also want to add two notes in regards to what Sonal ma'am said. One, most of these courses are free of cost, so you don't need to pay large sums of money like you would need to for a full-blown education. And all of those are free, you can access them. The second thing is that when we mean courses from universities, we really mean the top ranked universities. Somebody said Ivy League earlier on in the discussion. Yes, all of the Ivy Leagues have courses on these platforms. We really mean programming courses from MIT. And the list is really endless. So I would definitely encourage you to explore these and play around.
Okay, one more thing. These courses are accessible. Okay. One thing, and also if you cannot afford, you can also apply to pay fees if you want to get the certificate. Okay. Because some courses keep certain part locked if you don't apply for the certificate. But if you can't afford, they will honor your financial aid application and will provide you financial support. So there is absolutely no reason not to learn from the best school in the world. Even if you can't go to USA or any other country, you can still learn from the best school, from the best teachers, and from anywhere around the world.
मैडम विजन एड और इंडिक एआई का कुछ एलाबोरेट करें क्या?
I'm not promoting Indic AI or Vision Aid, but Indic AI and Vision Aid are both partners. And Vision Aid is also promoting a lot of education on MOOCs. After you finish any program with an organization, which is only the starting point, but at the end, we expect that you take control of your learning. Those of you who will take control of your learning, your future is very bright. Okay. Then if you don't take control, and if you have somebody else keep telling you what to do next, what to do next, what to do next, it will be very difficult. So even if you don't have any choice right now of which class to start with a course on Coursera. I would suggest learning how to learn. Okay.
Okay.
Or kind of science of well-being. No. Then there are courses in every subject. And if you are not inspired enough, do watch this all three panels.
Okay,
and
okay.
I bet this panelist here will inspire you so much that probably before you finish all three panels, you would be engaged in MOOCs. And if Indic AI would like to see, VisionAid did the video already. So if Indic AI would like to invite these panelists to answer questions, you know, we would be happy to. So we will wait to hear, but you will have to let Indic AI know that you have interest in such a panel.
Okay.
We'll walk out and get back to you on this, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
And regarding Indic AI, like we are coming up with a education platform where we'll upload accessible materials for the. Now we are working on the visually impaired, and there is a good number of VI candidates, those who wants to write government jobs, and so we are coming up with courses and mock tests for them to prepare them, and we are coming up with accessible materials for school and graduation level courses also. So we are working on this, just to make things accessible for VI people.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have one question. In course there are videos or writing pattern available?
See, there are videos. There are a few courses like professional courses also. Like we have courses on finance, digital marketing,
Okay.
and we are coming up with bank PO courses. So what we have is a video, and we generate captions for that video,
Uh-huh.
and we generate transcript also. So you can download the transcript and listen to it.
Okay.
And the transcript is downloadable in PDF format. Along with that, there are captions, so that any candidate who are not VI but hearing impaired, they can see the caption and understand.
Mm-hmm.
And there are mock tests also, quizzes also. You can appear for the quiz and gauge your performance.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And there are self-paced courses also, like you can do it at your free time, or you can set your time. I'll finish this course in this much time.
Okay. Thanks. Yes.
Yeah, I have enrolled in digital marketing course.
So you have started?
Yep,
You like it?
of course.
Okay,
It
that's
is too much better, and it is from Ada Preston, so
yeah,
it is
yeah.
yeah, very prestigious. So
And it is like, it's a very big course. Around 70 hours of videos are there in that digital
yeah,
marketing course. Yeah.
yeah, every marketing type, online marketing type is covered in it. Mobile
Yeah.
marketing, search engine marketing, affiliate marketing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
So we are coming up with more courses over time. We'll come up with, different kind of courses, so that we can cater more students.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Can anyone enroll for this digital marketing?
Yeah, you can connect to me personally. I'll guide you how to do that. Most of the courses are free. Other than
Okay.
instructor-based courses or self-paced courses, most of the courses are free, and you can
No
join anytime.
qualification barrier here, right? Like if you
No,
are
no,
no, right?
no.
Yeah, because no, my actually I just quit my job before lockdown itself last
So I
2
think
months
we are
before. Yeah,
deviating from our agenda. You can
yeah.
connect me personally. Those who are willing to do any courses with IndiKI, I'll guide you. But let us now, like on, yeah.
Hello, Bhavya.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
I have one question. What is the time during of SAT exam?
I don't exactly remember. I think 6 hours. I think. I don't remember. It's very complicated. There are 4 sections, and each section has a specific amount of time allotted. And after that, we also have extended time, so that needs to be factored in. It's a fairly long test, everything on one day.
Okay. There are parts of exam.
Yes.
Okay. Then which subject do you learn for this?
The SAT itself only tests your English and mathematics.
Okay.
After that, there are separate subject-specific tests called the SAT subject tests,
Okay.
which can test you on subjects like physics, chemistry, math level 1, math level 2, world
Okay.
history, US history, etc.
Then after the completing exam, if we qualified that, then they call us.
I would note that there is no qualification score. So this is a little different from how it works in India. Even if you get an 800 out of 800, or you get a 700 out of an 800, those are still valid scores which you can send to a university. The difference is that if you want to, let's say, get into an MIT or a Harvard, you need to have extremely flawless standardized testing scores. Whereas if you want to get into, say, a middle ranked university,
Means courses on is depending on marks.
kind of. Again, I would note that it's a holistic admissions process. So if you have got lower than average marks in this one exam, but you've got stellar academics or really high quality extracurriculars or a very impressive achievement in some other area, those two could neutralize.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, anyone else has any question?
I can add one comment to this SAT thing that you would find in Bhavya's interview, but if you haven't paid attention, one important thing, like let's me address Reema, who is in 10th grade. So you will have to start applying right after 10th grade or before you are finishing your 10th grade. And first thing you will have to do to be able to take this exam in an accessible format, you have to request for a special request through College Board of special accommodation, which takes about 1 or 2 months. So please start that process very early on if you are requesting for special accommodation. Okay?
हाँ, तो यहाँ पर मैं कुछ बातें कहना चाहूंगा कि मतलब जो एसएटी के बारे में पूछ रहे थे ना स्टूडेंट, उनसे मतलब कुछ समय पहले भी बात हुई थी मेरी कि मतलब उनका अभी तो 12th कंप्लीट हुआ है, तो मेरा ये कहना रहेगा उनसे कि अगर आप यूएस से बेटर यूरोप या ऑस्ट्रेलिया में ट्राई करें तो बेटर रहेगा, और मास्टर्स के लिए आप अगर यूएस में जाए तो बेटर रहेगा.
एक्चुअली माय सम रिलेशन में कोई है जो अमेरिका में है, तो मैं उनसे कांटेक्ट करके अगर पूछ सकता हूँ थोड़ा इंफॉर्मेशन.
पर आपको जो अप्लाई करना रहता है वो राइट आफ्टर 10th अप्लाई करता है ना, और आगे अभी तो आपने 12th का एग्जाम दिया है, तो मेरे हिसाब से ऑस्ट्रेलियन और यूरोपियन यूनिवर्सिटीज चेक टू मच एकेडमिक स्कोर्स ओनली. सो अगर आपके 12th में अच्छे स्कोर्स आते हैं और अगर आप IELTS में 7-8 बैंड्स लाते हो और टीचर से रिकमेंडेशन लेटर्स लेते हो, तो इससे ज्यादा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी अंडर ग्रेड के लिए. और ये देखिए कि आपकी जो अंडर ग्रेजुएट डिग्री होगी वो 4 इयर्स की होगी, ऑनर्स डिग्री हो, ताकि आप मास्टर्स यूएस में कर सको.
हाँ, सही बात है.
राहुल
Yes, Akash.
मैम,
Please go ahead.
राहुल का कांटेक्ट नंबर वो शेयर कर सकते हैं क्या अभी?
Rahul, if you want, you can share it in chat box. It's up to him. Anyone else has any other question?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Is anyone else any other question to Bhavya?
Yes, I would like to say, Bhavya, after the completing graduation, what is your aim?
मैं इतना लॉन्ग टर्म नहीं सोच पाता. I'm not sure. I'll explore at college what I like, which subject I end up majoring in, and I'll figure out my professional goals, educational aspirations thereafter.
Okay.
हाँ, तो हेलो
चिराग.
मैम, मेरा क्वेश्चन मोमिता मैम से है.
हाँ.
मैम, जो इंडिया के कोर्सेज हैं वो आप लोग कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म पे रन करते हो?
Platform is we have a education portal where we upload the courses. So you can you connect with me personally. You can go to IndiCAI website. You can search in Google. Our website is indi-ai.org. You can create a login over there, which is free, and you can browse through the courses. And if you are interested, you can contact me.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Bhavya.
Huh?
Bhavya. Will you share us your number, because I want to personally ask some question of this today's conversation.
I can share my email address.
Yeah.
I will do that in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else has any question?
No.
In the chat box, you can note it from there.
Yes. Okay.
And we'll end up the session now. Roshni, you have any question? I see your hand raised.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So thanks Bhavya for your time. Thanks Sonal ma'am.
Thank you, Momita.
Thanks, Bhavya.
Thank you
And
everyone for all of your questions and
yeah,
enthusiastic participation.
yeah.
And whether you get into your dream school in the US, there are lots of excellent institutions even inside our own country on the internet. So education is really no longer confined to which has the highest rankings. So you can access those in either case. No need to stress about the Ivy Leagues all that much. But good luck on all of your educational careers, whatever subjects you want to study, whatever professions you want to take up. I'm sure if you keep working hard enough and knock many doors, those opportunities will come to you and everything will fall in place. All the best.
All the
Thank you.
best to all the participants, and we'll meet in any other session in future. Okay, and bye then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Bye, guys.
Bye.